Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try talking about coronavirus today. However, just as an FYI, if it's not in the title of the video, it's because YouTube's demonetized it. That's why I've been calling it CV issue or beer disease, corona beer and stuff like that. So just as a preemptive thing, just to let you know that if it's not in the title, exposing YouTube for being a big old pile of balls, I guess. Now, the original article to this is down below in the description box, but apparently Disney World guests are defiant in the face of coronavirus. Now, the statement here is very odd. If I'm going to get sick and die, I might as well do it at Disney World. Well, right, fine. Look, at the end of the day, there is a very real issue with this disease, right? Or virus, I guess is a virus, isn't it? With this ailment, should I say. There's a very real issue with it. And it's not going to affect, realistically, the people that are going here. It's going to be affecting the people that they then go home and interact with. And that's why people are saying, stop moving around. Just isolate yourself for a little bit. Chill. We'll stop the spread. We'll just relax, yeah? So to do stuff like this is, it is very, 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 very selfish. I myself live alone. So when I go off to the theatre to watch a movie and things like that, which I have been doing, I'm more than happy to keep doing that. I don't actually then go and interact with the elderly or the infirm, the people that this is then going to affect. So I do feel like my movements, I can justify my movements. Sounds like I'm justifying going to the toilet, doesn't it? But unless you can justify your kind of comings and goings and things like that to yourself, or on at least a moral standing, it does seem a little bit baffling that these people are just doing, like, just out and out saying this. It's really, really odd. So Disney World guests are defiant in the face of coronavirus. The New York Times interviewed a number of Disney World guests who were unconcerned about coronavirus. I absolutely commend people to be just don't worry about it. But you then have to remember the people that then come into contact with you, who could get down with the virus and could, unfortunately, very real risk of death. And there is the risk of death is quite high of a certain age bracket. Now, Annie Kotherman, a mother of 3, ages 3, 6 and 8, told the New York Times, "We were worried about coronavirus as we saw things closing down and hoped we could still get our trip in." Corey Higgins, a mother of 2, added, "Me and my husband have been monitoring things, but didn't feel like we needed to cancel our plans. We have wipes, we have hand sanitizer, we aren't elderly, and honestly, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. If I'm going to get sick and die, I might as well do it at Disney World." But you're not going to die there. That's the thing. You'll go home and then you'll spread it. That's the problem. Like, I am not one for panicking at all. In fact, in the UK, it's become a meme now. There's literally no toilet paper in the UK. There's nowhere to be gone. Like, how are you going to wipe your ass? It's crazy. But I managed to get some last night. I did my food shop. But walking around the grocery store, there's no eggs. It's difficult to find eggs. It's difficult to find just normal foods because people are panic buying. And this is the problem. It's this panic which has now caused further knock-on effects. It's a domino effect, isn't it? So I'm not one for panicking, but I am one for taking precautionary measures. So if you're going to interact with the elderly, probably best not to go around somewhere where you're likely to catch it, because that's selfish, really, isn't it? And again, it's not you that you need to worry about. It's the elderly people you're going to come into contact with. It's a real shame, to be honest, that people are taking this kind of stance. And I don't believe what the UK is doing is particularly great either. The UK has been very ignorant on the whole situation. We're only just now moving to, hey, yeah, if you've got some issues, you should probably self-isolate immediately. Like, that should have been done immediately. That should have been the phase that we go into straight away. We shouldn't have been having planes coming back from Milan and stuff like that, which have just happened, I think, just last week. Like, what? No, I think it was this week. Well, what are we doing? It's stupid. Anyway, Dave Shilby, who was visiting the park with his 11-year-old granddaughter, so an elderly man, stated, "I don't want to ever think about living my life in fear. If you live in absolute fear, you'll be worried all your life. When it's your time to die, you could be lying in bed on a plane or in a park and you'll go." Yeah, maybe, But that's really dumb. Because, again, you're giving yourself unnecessary risk. Again, it's really important to note that there is a pandemic on the go, but it does only affect certain people. He, bearing in mind he's got an 11-year-old granddaughter, it's probably in that age bracket. It would be like going, well, yeah, you've got a greater risk of getting killed in your car. Okay, sure. But you've also got a greater risk of getting killed in your car with a couple of the lock and wheel nuts off. So why would you drive with the lock and wheel nuts off? You're putting yourself in unnecessary risk. This is the same situation. This guy is putting himself in unnecessary danger. Just so pathetic. All to go, I don't live in fear. Like, fuck, grow up, mate. You're old enough. Grow up. And again, all the people on Twitter, all the Twitterati, all seems to be, doesn't it? It's all the same kind of crap. A Disney spokeswoman told the New York Times that Disney World has taken extra precautions. We have added additional hand sanitizers throughout the park, increased the frequency of cleaning and disinfection in high guest contact areas, and are providing information about good hygiene practices and illness prevention to our guests and cast members. They will shut down. They will have to. They will shut down. Everything else is bloody shutting down. While Disney World guests are defiant, guests at Disneyland will no longer have the opportunity to attend the park. Disney decided to shut down operations at Disneyland following Governor of California Gavin Newsom's decree. Non-essential gatherings must be limited to no more than 250 people, while smaller events can proceed only if the organisers can implement social distancing of 6 feet per person. Gatherings of individuals who are at higher risk of severe illnesses from COVID-19 should be limited to no more than 10 people, while also following social distancing guidelines. Now, Disneyland's statement was, while there have been no reported cases of COVID-19 at Disneyland Resort, after carefully reviewing the guidelines of Governor California Executive Order, and in the best interest of our guests and employees, we are proceeding with the closure of Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure. So this is why Disney World, it's almost, Disneyland has just been forced to close. Disney World won't, well, they will likely close. And if they don't, then I'm not surprised, because it's Disney, isn't it? They're all about the moolah. But at the end of the day, it's that unnecessary risk that people are taking. It's a real shame, to be fair. And again, like, the statement as it continues, the hotels of Disneyland Resort will remain open until Monday, March 16th, to give guests the ability to make necessary travel arrangements. Downtown Disney will remain open. We will monitor the ongoing situation and follow the advice and guidance of federal and state officials and health agencies. Disney will continue to pay cast members during this time. Oh, well, how lovely of you. Disneyland Resort will work with guests who wish to change or cancel their visits, and will provide refunds to those who have hotel bookings during this closure period. We anticipate heavy call volume over the next several days and appreciate guests' patience as we work hard to respond to all inquiries. Look, at the end of the day, this kind of attitude is really dumb. And it, like, I'm not one for panicking, but again, that's not panicking. That's just going, oh, yeah, I've got family at home, probably going to interact with them. I'm attending an area where there's thousands of people. One of them's probably got it, and they don't know. I should probably not do that. It's not difficult. It's really, really baffling that this is the kind of stance that people are taking. And again, I've got to keep reiterating it. I'm not one for panicking. People were panic buying everything, and I just think that that's such a it's a bad approach to take. But have measured risks. Measured precautionary actions to risk. The risk is high for the elderly. So if you're elderly, probably best to not move about so much. That's a given, right? Because you might die. The other side of it is, if you interact with elderly people, probably best not to move about so much. If you live at home with elderly people, probably best to restrict your movement. It's just a measured risk. You wouldn't drive a car with a PSI of your tyres quite low, would you? No! Measured risk. Why would you do that? It's just, like, it's common sense to me, but never mind. It seems to be failing everyone else. Love to hear your thoughts, and I'm anticipating this being demonetized, but it'll be interesting to see. And I guess that's another conversation on a whole, isn't it? Is why YouTube demonetizes these things. But whatever. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture, movie news, and interesting bits of information like this. I've Mr. H. Take care.